So one potential post-Trump era future is coming into maybe focus, which is a different kind of Trump era. Let's throw this tear sheet up on the screen. Reportedly, Jared Kushner has once again been talking up the idea of starting a Trump-themed news outlet or some other media company, possibly as soon as after the election. 5 Republicans familiar with the discussions told various reporters, this was reported by Business Insider. You will recall this was the idea in 2016, very similar stories being reported here, that they were thinking, okay, well, we're going to take his fame, we're going to take his cachet in the political world now, we're going to turn it into a political media venture. And, you know, if he doesn't win, do I think that they will do this? Yes, I absolutely think so. This is one of the things that I also think that liberals have really not wrapped their head around. Like, it's not like even if Trump loses,
no, he's not leaving.
He's not going anywhere. I mean, we're going to be stuck with his tweets and his insanity. And the media has never been able to look away from him, and they're not going to be able to look away from him now.
The Republican Party's not ready for that, too. I mean, look, if you want to run for office, you're going to have to ride that escalator. And there's going to be cameras, and you're going to have to come down the elevator and be like, you know, President Trump has given me his blessing, and all of that. His Twitter feed is still going to be the single most powerful endorsement in the Republican Party in the entire game. No other person will be able to move votes or swing elections and so much more. And Trump has personally told me that that's one of his favorite things that he likes to do, is to endorse people and then see them win. He'd be like, this guy was down, then I endorsed him and he was up by 40 points. It's like his favorite thing that he can do. And so he's not going anywhere. It's highly conceivable that he has this media empire. The one thing is if Jared is involved, it's probably going to get screwed up in nowhere. So that's just like the one.
Knives around for Jared this morning, huh?
Yeah, well, peace deals are good. Everything else is basically tank the entire administration.
The one other thing that I'll say on this, and we have another great media story you're going to love, is, look, you can't tell everything from tax returns in terms of a person's like true net worth and financial status, but it certainly looks from what was revealed by the New York Times that the apprentice income and all the associated deals and all the things he got out of that, that had really pumped him up for a while. That had kind of started to ebb. That's when he decides to run for president. And so when he comes out of the White House, he needs to make some money. Yes. And so I think, to me, this is incredibly logical. I'm sure it will be very successful. I mean, even if he drops down to 20% of the American public loving him, there is a huge...
It's a massive market.
and you know, this is where, like, the boat parades do become relevant. Yeah. People love this guy. His core supporters love him in a way that, like, you know, nobody feels about Joe Biden. There really is that connect there. So you don't have to win over the entire American people or even half of the American people to have an extraordinarily, potentially lucrative media opportunity.
I mean, he could be the next Rush Limbaugh. He could be, I mean, he'd be bigger than Limbaugh. There's no question. He could have his own podcast. I mean, hell, I don't know. But yeah.
God, can you imagine?
The Trump pod.
But the other thing that I'm just thinking this through right now, but, you know, it'll depend a lot on, like, if he tries to use any of the mainstream platforms, you think that you think the YouTube employees would let him have like a YouTube channel or whatever?
They can't. You can't
see the dollar signs.
You can't do it. Yep, the dollars are just going to be too.
Can you imagine what pressure they'd be under?
Yeah, they're going to be under a lot of pressure. But I look. Joe just had Alex Jones on, right? Once you're that big enough, you can do whatever you want.
So funny.
Yeah.
What's our other media story, Saagar?
This great one. I hope I die before this becomes reality. Let's put this up there on the screen. The Lincoln Project is becoming a media business. Wow. They got to turn that grift into something much bigger. They've signed with United Talent Agency. They're looking at creating a House of Cards style television show, podcasting, media network, and all of that. There's one silver lining to all of this. Who the hell cares what these people have to say if Trump loses? Seriously, this, Pod Save America is only a thing because Trump won. If Hillary had won, what would these clowns be doing? No one would be listening to them. So the Lincoln Project's entire strategic advantage is that they will throw barbs at Trump that the rest of the Democratic media and machine won't throw, right? They're like, we're nasty, so you don't have to be. Well, if Trump is gone, what are they going to do? I mean, do people really want to see people throw nasty barbs at Mitch McConnell? Like, a little bit, but not even on the same scale as Trump. So when politics goes back to normal, these people are irrelevant. So I think this is an idiotic business idea. It's still going to be extremely cringe and get a lot of media coverage, at least in the very beginning. But yeah, unfortunately, it's late stage, folks. That's where we are.
That's where we are. Their political innovation, which you put very well, was basically we're going to make these things that we're pretending are campaign ads to sway the election.
Right.
But they're actually entertainment content. I mean, that's what they are for, like,
for
wine
liberals.
moms.
Yes.
For liberal wine moms. Like, no offense, I am a wine mom, so no offense there. But
we forgive you.
Yeah, but that's what this has really been about. And people have thrown millions of dollars at them to create these stupid ads. And it is true, because they come from the Republican background and Republicans punch so much harder than liberals ever could. People love the specter of, like, these guys throwing blows for their team for once. We never get this on the Democratic side, right? Like, someone who actually is going to go in there in the trenches and be, like, as nasty as the other team. So that is their whole thing. Yeah, it becomes a lot less interesting in a Biden era. There's always things you can say about the mean Republicans, and I'm sure they'll do plenty of that.
Same level? I don't see it.
I think they're making a big mistake thinking that the bar for, like, actual entertainment, if you're talking about a House of Cards type thing, for people, like normal people, to actually want to watch this drama is very different than the bar for, like, entertainment and on the level of these anti-Trump ads that resistance liberals get really jazzed about.
No, I think you're totally right. And in general, I just think that a lot of their relevance is going to disappear in Biden times. And frankly, maybe the one silver lining, if Trump loses, is all of these people who built careers as fact checkers on CNN and as White House correspondents and sold all these books are just going to disappear from the face of the earth.
Are they?
Well, they're going to try, but no one wants to hear it anymore. The whole appeal of Joe Biden is that you can just go back to sleep. That's not good for these people.
That's true. Tomorrow on Rising, author Beth Macy is going to discuss the big Purdue Pharma settlement that is massive, but does not hold the executives there accountable whatsoever. Plus, filmmaker Michael Moore is going to talk with us with his final election thoughts and predictions.
You do not want to miss that. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos, and don't forget to like and share as well. Make sure that you're watching our election night coverage on Tuesday, November 3rd, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have the latest results. We're going to have analysis, reporters from all over, an amazing panel, friends of the show, Kyle Kondik, Ryan Grimm, many more for their perspectives on the night. You guys do not want to miss it, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys.